It's springtime in Vancouver. There's leaves on the trees, enough pollen around to make your histamines try and kill you, and it's time for us to get our convertibles back on the road. The Z3 and the Miata have barely moved in months, so we have many things to do to them. For Andy's Miata, we'll be upgrading the safety, so we're installing a roll hoop and also getting it some new brakes along with some cosmetic upgrades. And for my Z3, we're going to be fixing a whole bunch of small problems, so I have to list less problems in the Facebook Marketplace listing. Before we can get to any of the mods though, these guys desperately need a clean, not just from being driven briefly in the winter, but there's a lot of Bondo dust on them. Before we can wash the cars though, we need to install our new bidet, the Active 2.3. With 1500 PSI of pressure, this thing can clean your butthole and your tonsils at the same time.
It cleared my soul.
All right, how's my new bidet? Ah, God, oh! Ah! We actually just didn't have a hose outside, so that was the easiest spot to get water from. And here's our final pressure washer setup. All right, Andy, are you ready for an incredibly satisfying car washing montage?
Let's go.
Yeah. The cars are clean and let's get them in the shop quick because I can see them actively getting covered in pollen. When we took the Miata to the track last year, it did absolutely incredible, with the only problem being that it didn't love to stop. We had loads of brake fade and it wasn't very confidence inspiring, so we're going to change that right now with some abxy brakes, and huge thanks to them for sending these over because it's what we would have bought anyway. First step of swapping your brakes, of course, is putting her on jack stands. Hello? Come on. Oh, there we go. Doing a brake job's definitely the kind of thing you can just do in your driveway with pretty minimal tools. So first thing we need to do is get these calipers off. So 14 on the back, loosen her off. There we go. Of course, don't let your brake just hang by the hose. Use a little hook thingy. Perfect. And it sounds good, don't have to replace the bearing. Not a strict requirement, but we always like to clean stuff up in here while we're in. Rough. For the rotors, we have some beautiful slotted ones right here. This just helps to clear debris when you're on the track, and you have to make sure that you put it on the right side, so R for right. Beautiful. There's actually still a good bit of meat on these. Yep. Probably glazed all to hell from our track day. For the pads on the front, we went with the abxy blue stuff. These are a more track-focused brake, but not all-out hardcore, so it should stop us really good, not fade, and with any luck, not be super loud and dusty, but we'll see about those last two. There we go. Will it just slide on? Nope. I need to press these apart, which normally is pretty easy. Like, we have this tool right here, which can't open it up, but even without that, normally it's pretty simple. The problem is that all of this is just like floating, so you try and push it out and the whole thing just moves. So you only have really awkward, not good leverage spots to push it in. Here we go, here we go. I think this is the ticket. 2 clamps and a board, resounding success. Nice bolts get torqued to 48 foot-pounds. There we go. Huge thanks to VITURE for sponsoring today's video. We've had the VITURE Beast for a couple of months now, and Andy has been using it everywhere, at work, at home, and even on flights. He absolutely loves it.
Yes, I do.
The Beast is VITURE's latest XR glasses system, giving you the experience of a massive 174-inch display right in front of your eyes. Instead of squinting at tiny screens on planes or laptops that are super crammed up, you basically have a private theater wherever you go. The Beast features 2 Sony micro OLED displays with a crisp 1200p resolution, up to 1250 nits peak brightness, and a super smooth 120 Hz refresh rate, making movies and games look incredible. incredible. As the smartest XR glasses, the Beast also has multiple viewing modes like anchor mode, smooth follow, which I am using right now, and an ultra wide mode for different scenarios and content. And it gets even better with the new Absolute S9V controller that is designed specifically for VITURE XR glasses. Just plug in your iPhone, Android phone, or even an iPad, connect the Beast right here, and you have a massive display for mobile gaming, cloud gaming, or even console streaming. So click the link in the description and use code ZIPTIE for 10% off. Moving on to the rear, the method is similar, but you actually don't want to take the entire caliper off, and instead we're just going to remove one of the slides. First, this little dust boot comes off, and underneath it is a 10 mil that we will just loosen up, and with any luck, everything comes off. Slide comes out, and then this should just pivot straight up. Ah, there we go. Straight up like that. Obligatory zip tie call out right here. One pad gone, two pads gone, whole rotor gone. Yeah. We've got slotted rear rotors once again, although not vented because, you know, rear brakes. For the rear, we've gone with EBC yellow stuff brake pads. These are more like light track use pads, and they should be very nice on the road, and yeah, perfect for this. And for these ones, we need to cut a little bit of adhesive to put on the back so they don't make noise. Sure. There we go. The Miata is way too small for the spreader to even consider going in.
A little bit violent.
It's not even pondering moving. So it turns out we were going about that completely wrong. That's why it wasn't working. So we need to remove this bolt. Then under that bolt, there's a 4mm Allen that I just loosened, and hopefully that's loose enough. Well, we definitely should have looked at a tutorial first, even though we've done brake jobs, I don't know between us how many times, but a lot. This right here though, to adjust the parking brake, they used this little guy right here, and we didn't remove it before trying to push the piston in and mangled these threads right here. This is a $10 part, so not the biggest of deals, even though the shipping's 2 times that. But on the other side, we tried to take it out, and this is just stripped internally. We didn't even screw that one up, so we need a whole new caliper for the other side. Oh, I love working on cars. Even the easiest car to work on ever is difficult sometimes. While we wait for the rear calipers to arrive, let's move on to this roll hoop. Now, you want one of these mostly for safety. If you look at some pictures of Miatas that have flipped with roll bars on them, it is terrifying because this windshield right here, half the time just completely collapses. So if you don't have anything back here to protect your head, you get squished. As a side benefit, this thing is incredibly strong, and it ties together the rear of the car right above the struts, so it can greatly increase your handling, especially in a convertible. Like in my Z3, we were shocked at how much of a handling difference this thing made. The first step to install your roll hoop is to remove the seats and also this trim on the side. There we go. Seatbelt also has to come off, and this will be relocated later. Haha, and there we go. Oh, this is all wet and stinky. Now this big hunk of metal needs to leave. Perfect. As part of this install, we know that we're going to have to cut part of the car, and to know how much of the car we have to cut, we're going to have to throw this in. We have the bar a bit in, and now we can see where exactly back here we need to cut, because we do need to cut this. I'm using a jigsaw for these cuts, just because even though it'll make worse cuts than the die grinder, it will make a whole bunch of sparks that'll harm the soft top and stuff. Yay. All right. I think we need to remove a tiny bit more from this side, but I'm gonna do that with a file just so that I don't accidentally cut through some wires. I know I literally just said I was gonna file this, but filing takes too long and I'm impatient. Oops. This all needs a nice clean because it's dirty and kind of stinks, so we can do that, and then roll bar should be able to go in. Now, will this guy go in after our modifications? I'm helping. I think everything's going where it should be. Oh, sorry, cable. The bolt for the bottom of the seatbelt needs to go in now, and you can use this one little washer, but don't use the big spacer because that's just, well, too big. Before we snug the lower seatbelt bolt down all the way, we want to undo this one on the top. What this allows us to do is move the whole seatbelt carrier just a tiny bit inboard, because the seatbelt's actually going to get attached to the roll bar up here, and just moving it in a tiny bit makes this line a little bit straighter and the seatbelt retracts better. This isn't in the instructions, but I'm gonna add just a little bit of VHB tape to the back of this, just to try and prevent rattles for as far as it'll go. Sure. Now this spacer can go in right here, and where the old seatbelt bolt attached, we're throwing this one in. With that bolt properly torqued to spec, we now have to attach the seatbelt right out here. We have this little nut washer spacer thing, and the point is that this spacer in the middle allows for the seatbelt to pivot around. All right. That still moves, no problem. Nice. Now we need to remove the rear fender liner. And now for my favorite part of all of these videos, drilling holes in Andy's car.
Sick.
3/8 drill bit of lube, let's send it.
That was easy.
Bolts go through these holes right here, and that's so that we can attach this backing plate on the other side. Now we get to drill 3 more holes, same basic idea, except these ones are way more annoying. The hole isn't in quite the right spot because it's super friggin' awkward to drill, so here we go. All right, bolt goes in, and I didn't go through the battery cable that's directly above it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be exciting. All right, this clears, right? Yep, no problem.
Sick.
And it's really, really sturdy. I don't want a full reef on it because we're on jack stands, but like, more sturdy than the windshield for sure. Before everything can go back together, we need to give this a clean and a little cut here so it clears the bar. And the trim that goes along here also needs a little bit of an incision. I wanted to make sure that these holes right here are available, because if Andy wants to add a harness bar in the future, that's where it goes. Last thing we have to do is chop this panel right here. There is now a roll hoop in the way, so we cut it right along here and then massage it a bunch of times until it looks correct. All right, I think that's just about good. With the roll hoop looking good, let's just time-lapse putting everything back together in here.
Oh man, like a perfect spot for your GoPro or DJI Osmo or Insta360.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. Wow, installation looks OEM. Good job, Alex.
Yeah, as long as you don't look too close. The camera won't focus, so perfect. With the roll hoop installed and everything looking great here, let's move on to my Z3. Since I got this car, it's had a whole bunch of very small problems that are pretty easy to fix, but I never dedicated the time to them because it's always had much more serious mechanical issues that require my attention. It still has many serious mechanical issues, just I want that not to be my problem anymore. The first problem I want to address is this smashed fog light right here. I got this replacement one right here from the wreckers for $0 because, well, it looked like it got dragged across the ground. Fortunately, despite its appearance, this broken one right here still functions perfectly, so just need to swap this cover over. Perfect. There we go. We might want to swap over more than just the outside housing on this. I wonder if this new fog light works.
It works.
Damn! Okay, let's see what we're working with here, because I want the inside and the outside of the new one, except I can't use this middle portion because the mounting clips are broken off. So hopefully we can just sort of transfer everything to make one working one. Oh, yep. Okay, there we go. Now to swap the glass, we need to do a little bit of baking. To make your own fog light cookies, you want to use an oven or a toaster oven. We're using a toaster oven right here. And just simply place them in for about 10 minutes while on 250 Fahrenheit. Do you like my oven mitt?
Oh yeah. Can wash my car.
That's one. Number two. Done this with the Civic headlights before, and they came off a lot easier than this. No, I think they both need to just go back in for way longer.
Smells good.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, we don't want to go to all this trouble and replace it looking like that, so first I'm going to give it a little clean and then some more sanding. The plan is to wet sand by hand, and when I get impatient, probably something else. To hopefully make this look brand new, I have some ceramic headlight restoration from Cerakote. I don't actually know if this works on glass. It's probably made for plastic, but maybe it works for both. Let's see. Step one, oxidization remover. Don't have to worry about that because they're glass, they didn't oxidize. Step two, you sand it. Already did that. Thoroughly cleaned with some IPA, and now we can clear coat it. Yeah, it also looks really good when it's just wet though, so kind of have to wait until it dries to see what happens.
We have a situation.
What?
Come and see. There was no one touching it.
Yeah, no, we were literally just working on something else and it just exploded. This Z3 just fucking hates getting better. Every single time. This is why I'm getting rid of the stupid fucking thing. Buy it, it's a great car, I mean. The worst part is it even looks good too, like the ceramic coating took to it. Another thing that's always bothered me about this Z3 is the door handle. On the driver's side, you can see that it's just not attached at all, and the previous owner was nice enough to try and repair it with some glue around right here that didn't work and made a huge mess. You can't really see it because I've picked it all off at stoplights over the last year, but geez, it was awful. I think it's time that finally gets repaired. Also with glue, but the proper way. You get the doors in a Z3 off, you first undo this bolt, which we don't have to worry about because the door handle's smashed. And then this door handle comes off somehow. You like slide it forward, I think. There we go. Oh, those clips didn't come off in the slightest.
No, you just have to glue them back.
Sweet. Oh, well, half of the clips came out with the door card. The other half are still attached to the door. Basically, BMW in their infinite wisdom decided that when you close your door, all of that force is going to be on this tiny piece of plastic right here, and as it gets old and dries out, that breaks. The other half of that door handle is held on with these two screws and a tiny piece of metal. Now we have the door handle off, and from here we have a couple of options. There are 3D prints online of these guys, so if I had a black interior, that's something that I might do, but I don't think there's any chance that I can get close to matching this color. So we could just simply buy one from BMW. They sell them still, but they are over $800 each.
What?
Yes.
What's that?
So what most people do on their Z3s is JB weld it back together. Okay, that right there is about all that we've got. So my plan is to tack it in place using a little bit of CA glue and then just full send it with the JB weld. Also, I'm going to put in a little washer just so with any luck that'll hold the screw in. This stuff you just knead in your hands to mix it up together and then apply it where you need a bit of strength and putty and epoxy. What a mess. Maybe I should use the other stuff. While we wait for the handle to dry, we can reattach the clips using the OEM attachment method. A shitload of glue. Like what the hell, BMW? That's really how you did it? This has 1 minute and I need to do 3. There we go. After some drying overnight, our door handle is good to go back on. I just want to give it a tiny little file so it goes in nicely and should be good. It feels really nice and strong. So I didn't epoxy the clamps down. Didn't happen. Perfect. Now this just has to go back on.
Man, you see how much the suspension moves. Oh my God.
Got it. You better go in. You're the whole reason we did all of this. It's one screw. Oh. Okay. That's all good. That just goes down into there. Now for the grand test. Amazing. Man, having a door handle makes us feel so much more premium. Hell yeah. The next problem I want to address with the Z3 is the sagging glove box. Now, This is very common in the North American models because for whatever reason, they didn't trust people in North America to put on their seatbelts. And if you have the airbag come out, hit you here, and you're not wearing a seatbelt, you go directly into there. So they have a great big reinforcement plate in here that's really heavy and causes this to sag. Not a problem in Europe where they just trusted you to put your seatbelt on. To address this problem, we have a reinforcement kit from ECS Tuning. They actually designed it, and apparently it will solve all of our problems. Okay, this is the culprit right here. I think I have this correct. So old bracket right here, new bracket, and I use these clips so that it stays together and hopefully doesn't all fall down into there while I try and attach it. There we go. Now this metal plate gets attached and it's just bolt, nut on the end, and if we drop the nut inside, we have a really bad time. Now this just gets tightened a bit. I'm not totally sure how much, but we're doing a bit. I think this is all good to go now, so with any luck, we just put it back together and the glove box is fixed. I did it. With some help of these guys right here, watch this. We just shouldn't film anything. Okay, there we go. There we go. Look at that.
All right, all right.
Now, I'm sure you guys are kind of wondering why I'm so keen to sell this, and it's not just the mechanical problems, but I have spent so much time fixing this thing. I've not solved a single problem with it, just made the problems less bad. And the biggest problem is it's way worse than Andy's Miata. To demonstrate just how much better the Miata is, because it loves mods and is easy to work on, let's do the shifter bushings in both cars. To replace the shifter bushing on a Miata, you first need to remove the center console, which is 5 screws. Gear knob is a twist to remove, and this whole thing should just come off now. 4 10 mils need to come off. To get this off, you just want to lube it up and yank as hard as you can. And by the way, for something like this, you want a silicone lubricant. If you just use WD-40, you might have the rubber swell up and make your life even harder. That felt impossible before, and with some lube, it's all good. Now we have 3 more 10s. Now I think this is, good to just come out. The Miata is a tiny bit strange because the shifter goes basically directly into the transmission. That gives you excellent feel, but there is some transmission fluid in here that we're going to replace. It is separate from the main gear oil that's down below, and we're going to use an oil extractor for that because we have one, although if you don't, you can just simply use like the top to some hand soap.
Ooh, that's some aged oil.
To top that up, I'm going to use some kind of fancy red line synthetic oil. You don't need something that's this expensive, but it's what we had laying around in the shop. Now this old bushing can come off. Hopefully I can just push it and it pops. It's not the case. There we go. To replace it, we've got this brass bushing, even though the old one honestly looks fine. Bit of lube.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah, a lot of lube. You can also get a hole rebuild kit that includes this ring up here, but that ring looks fine. I just want to line up this slot with this pin and throw it in. And from here, the whole thing just goes back together. All right. Shifter feels great, and the most difficult part was remembering where we put the bushing. On the Z3, achieving the same thing is going to be rather difficult. So on the Miata, it has a shifter that looks something like this. You know, we have the little bushing that we replaced right there. Very cool. On the Z3, it's more like this, where you have bushings that are like in the shifter lever itself. That's quite a bit of slop, and overall it just doesn't feel great. To get at those bushings, we first need to jack up the car. While we're down here, we can see that the output shaft on the transmission is leaking. Rear main seal on the engine also is leaking, and the power steering is leaking as well. Now you might be wondering where the bushings are for the shifter. They're like up in here. We need to remove a bunch of stuff. Oh no.
It's not even going to come off.
Unclear. Maybe if we drop the back of the exhaust, it'll give us the space that we need to get this out. Oh. Good start. This is gonna be kind of tough to see because there's a drive shaft and exhaust in the way, but the shifter comes in right here and we want to replace the bushing that's back here. There's a little clip right here that needs to come off. Now to get the bushing out of here, you put a flathead in the side and just reef on it and hope it comes out, I guess. Okay, I jammed an Allen key up there. At least half seems to be doing something. Holy crap. Using 2 flathead screwdrivers and a lot of violence, I have gotten that thing to come out. Any luck I can just pull this off. Oh, just like that. To replace this old, completely ruined bushing, I have a new one from PowerFlex that should make our shifts much better. Like all poly bushings, you want to give her a nice lube before putting it in. Beautiful. Now this gets to slide on just like so. I got the bushing in and my arm's cramped and I'm really sore and covered in dust and there's mouse turds in my eye. I really hope that that improved things. It's actually way better. It is a significant improvement. Nowhere near as good as the one in the Miata, but it is a lot better. Let's get back to Andy's Miata, because that's what we want to do anyway. First of all, the steering wheel. It's not too bad, but it's, you know, it's a little bit old and he got a much, much nicer one. This right here is real nerdy.
No airbag.
Yeah.
Just 3 bolts. That thing comes off.
In the center, there's a 21. That came off easy. Andy's tip is to put this on 2 threads, so when you yank this, you don't yank it into your face.
There we go.
Okay, that's a good tip.
Yeah. That come from experience.
We now need the short boss.
We don't have a short boss anymore, so.
This tiny dot right here lets you know where the top is. 36 foot-pounds. Pretty darn sweet, but before I install that, we want to get rid of this right here, because
Oh, the UV has killed it.
yeah, it's turning back into oil. To replace the gauge cluster cover, it's just 2 Phillips heads down in here. A couple more Phillips to get this steering column cover off. Now that comes out easy. There we go. That looks so much better.
A million times better.
Yeah, like this right here compared to that. A couple screws can go in. And now our nerdy horn. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. Normally I wouldn't suggest changing out your steering wheel because I think it's really stupid to delete airbags. But in this situation,
I don't have an airbag.
there's no airbag to start. And if you want to have no airbag in your car, I highly recommend a Hahn system. Impressions? I know you've had this in your garage for a long time.
It's been 34 years. It feels good. I did a lot of research and people say it's like for Miata, like 34 or 33, you may block like top of the cluster. And I think this one is 35, so it will not block anything, which is great. It also feels good.
Yeah, it feels awesome.
Yeah, so I can still reach my turn signal with one hand. I don't have to do it like this.
Sweet.
Sick. This feels way more comfortable than the OEM one.
The final of our last aesthetic mods is this guy right here, a nice little front lip for the Miata. This right here is going to look cool and increase the drag to make it ever so slightly slower. Looks like it might need some massaging to fit right. A little bit of double-sided tape to hold it on extra good. You want to do the 2 outer corners first. With any luck, everything lines up after that. And Annie's gonna help me so he can do that corner over there.
Yeah. Ooh, why is my side sticky?
Mine is too.
Threading hose, so much fun.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Does look pretty good. I dig it. And in the future, if we make this an actual track car, we can use this little space right here to do ducts to your brakes.
Sick.
Our rear calipers have finally arrived and we're good to install them. We also got some caliper brackets here, so I need to take the old one off. 2 bolts. Before we completely screw ourselves again, let's remove that little adjustment bolt. This guy's getting nice and loosened.
Yep, that was a rookie mistake.
Yeah, I'm able to get the bracket apart. Oh, that was a good one.
Yep.
These bracket bolts get torqued to 69 Newton meters. Nice. Little bit of lube on the spot that's gonna slide around. Brakes going on. For the e-brake, do you think it'll be easier to remove this cable from here or just remove the whole bracket?
Yeah, just do the whole bracket. Like the bracket is good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm down. And this gets attached, hopefully. Let's see how much brake fluid we can get all over the place. A bit. Now these little clips go on and they'll make the brakes try and blow themselves apart, which is why I put this off a little bit. And oh, it just goes straight on. Friggin' wonderful. It's almost like we just bought brand new brakes. 22 on the banjo bolt and the slider bolt down here is 29. Now I just want to bleed the brakes so there's no air in the lines. Loads of air right there. All right, give her some more pumps.
Oh, that was like 10 minutes of like leg work.
It's almost time for the wheels to go back on, but Andy got some with a smaller offset, which means they poke out more, and they're rubbing now, so we need to solve that.
Fender rolling is my passion. I do that every day, otherwise I can't sleep. No, I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, let's do more.
And commenters, we did heat it up, as you can see.
Yep.
Before we can go for a spin, we just need to adjust the little adjusters for the handbrake. All that you need to do is tighten up the little set screw in here, a little adjuster thing, until it starts to grab, and when it does, you just simply back it off a third of a turn and you're all good. If you forget to do this step, it is self-adjusting, so you can just reef on the handbrake a whole bunch of times and it will figure itself out eventually. On the ground, it's looking pretty darn good. You should probably lower it more though, Andy.
No, I think this is perfect.
The new fog light has arrived in the mail. It doesn't look quite as good as the OEM one, but oh well, it was 25 bucks. And with this, my Z3 will finally look like it does in the poster of it. But yeah, we got posters made of both the Z3 and the Miata. The Z3 is in White Rock looking out over Mount Baker. The Miata is down in Vancouver looking over Canada Place. And this art was done by Douglas Peterson of the Architect's Garage. So they look fantastic. We've actually had these for a while. We're just horrible at self-promoting. So get them at the link down below. Also, we need to fix the link because I think it's pretty bad. Back to the fog light though, we just need to whack a bulb into it and install it in the car. This doesn't have the like lining up stuff that the stock one did.
All right, good luck everybody.
I guess it goes like that. I like how the OEM housing had like clips and stuff to hold this on. This one just doesn't. So, sweet.
You get what you pay for.
Do we use the back half of the one we have so that this doesn't just fall off?
Is that even going on?
Great question. Yes.
Sweet.
And now, that clips on and doesn't come off. Hell yeah!
Nice. Let's go for a drive. We're driving this Miata. It's slow.
It's so slow.
But the thing is, after we put the roll bar in, the whole chassis feels a lot tighter. And also I felt way more safe.
Yeah, I don't. For him, it's perfect. For me, if we get rear-ended, my head hits the bar. If we go for a roll, my head hits the ground and the bar, so.
That's your problem being tall, you know? You just feel the suspension way more.
It does feel like we could use a strut bar up front now. Like you can tell that the rear is stiffer than the front. How are the brakes?
Thanks to EBC and no one behind us, let's do a brake check.
Doesn't have ABS.
Yep.
And you couldn't discover that before.
Yeah, this thing is keep getting better and better. Should we drive the other better car?
All right.
Run.
As for the hunkish 9000, it's still pretty great.
I mean, it feels faster than my Miata for sure.
Turns out that the M44 in this is like the best part of the car, like by a lot. I actually kind of love the engine. It's
Really? Wow.
Well, it's like cammed super aggressively, so it's all like lumpy and runs like a tractor down low, and then you get past 4,000 RPM and it just loves it.
The German VTEC.
Yeah.
VTEC! There's none!
Hell yeah.
How's the shifter?
Oh, it's actually so much better. It has been vastly improved. It was so mushy before, now it's like direct. I love it.
Oh, nice. Like compared to the Miata?
It's not as good as the Miata. You've been good, Z3, but your time has come, sadly. It's a fantastic looking car, and if you like mouse poop in your mouth, working on it's great, but once again, we have determined that the Miata is easier to work on, cheaper to work on, it's way more fun to drive, the handling's better, it has pop-up headlights. Basically, in every single capacity, the Miata is the best convertible. So I think that the convertible to mod on the channel in 2026 is very, very clear. Let's say it at the same time here, Andy. 3, 2, 1.
And then the
An
Miata.
even more expensive and complicated German car.
What the f?
So huge thanks for watching. You can pick up a poster for either of these cars at the terrible link that's down below. Hit like, get subscribed, and of course, have a great all day. Our Patreon's linked down below. See you on Marketplace. Lowball me, I don't care.